Welcome to a new episode.
It's like being on one of those mechanic bulls. Look at this! We're sailing! Finally!
So welcome on board Linnea, the powerboat.
We are Emmy and Marcus, and we are currently sailing in Norway, where we get a brutal lesson in how fickle the weather can be sailing here in September.
Good morning. Early morning, early start. We have a full day of sailing. And looking at this super calm morning, it's kind of hard to realize that there should be perfect wind outside. I really hope the forecast is right and it's not this calm out there. But it's super beautiful in here, so yeah, we're ready to leave.
Today Norway treats us with rain, but still enough wind so we can sail, so we're happy anyway. Again, happy for the mini tent. We can sit inside here, pretty dry, so that's great.
Really happy that we at least managed to get out through all the small islands in sun. Look nicer and easier to fly the drone when it's sunny and not raining. And since it was also totally calm, I think the shots were really nice. Well guys, this was definitely not what we had in mind when we looked at the forecast heading out today. We had expected like 12 to 16 knots wind just gliding downwind, and for the past hour we have had absolutely no wind. It went from really good 14 knots, we were just flying along, and then it just poof, all gone. The swell came as we left like the more protected area of the islands, and it's a huge swell. So like with no wind and the little wind there is, it's just circling around like 360 degrees constantly, and this swell, it's so uncomfortable. It's like, oh, what are we doing? We might have to look at another destination, and because we can't do this for 10 hours. But yeah, not very nice.
Yay! Wah! Oh.
It's like being on one of those mechanic bulls, just jumping up and down. Look at this! We're sailing! Finally! It only took like 4 hours or something like that, but the wind finally filled in, and it's just so more comfortable when it's like this. So we have about an hour and a half until we head in between the islands again. So we're just going to enjoy this and yeah. luckily the waves and the wind has shifted a bit, so we have the waves coming from behind now instead from right at our bow, which also makes it a lot more comfortable, and actually that makes it possible for us to sail. I think if we would still have them on the bow, we would just be bumping in the waves even though the wind has picked up. Very hard weather to sail in this Norwegian weather. Right now we got hit by a squall, maybe it's the right word to call it, with a lot of wind and a lot of rain and a very big wind shift. But thankfully it was in the right direction, so we just sped up a bit and we got a course that was actually more correct than the one we had before. So yeah, and here comes the sun again. Very shifting. There for a few minutes we had like 24, 25 knots in the gusts. So it's a bit much with the full Genoa and full mainsail. But as we were going downwind, it worked out pretty good anyway. If we would have continued for a long time, we would probably have needed to take a reef or roll up the Genoa. But it was like a 2-minute thing, and then it calmed down and we're back to like 10, 12 knots. So yeah.
We have really like strange conditions, like Emmy said. Now we're back to motoring again, so welcome on board Linnea, the powerboat.
This is my unhappy face. That rain cloud, it just sucked all the wind from this whole area. So we were just, okay, giving up, starting the engine. We have 1.5 hours to go. I know that's what I said when we were sailing as well, but we were doing a lot more speed and we have had to go a bit in the wrong direction to be able to have wind in the sails, to have a good wind angle, which means that it's still 1.5 hours. And then we go in between the islands.
Yeah, I can imagine we're really we're a bit tired of like these strange weather windows and
crappy conditions
right now. We don't cope as good as we did some months ago. I don't know why. I think we just need some rest from sailing. Be in the marina in a few days, and then maybe we're more happy going out sailing again.
Change of plans, since it's getting quite late and we are super hungry. We still have like 1.5 hours to go here in between the islands. So we were recommended an anchorage that's just here at like the inlet. So we just turned around and we're heading straight for that. Hopefully there's room for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise we have to continue. But yeah, the sun went down now and it turned really cold.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stopped warming us.
Fingers crossed. This really felt like a great decision to go in here. It's so pretty, and guess what? Now it started to rain again. So we are just tied up outside a Norwegian boat, really nice. And Marcus is getting the outside a bit ready, and I am putting away all the stuff that we have outside. And then it's time for dinner, and we're going to stay here for the night. So good. So glad that we didn't have to do an extra hour in the rain. So yeah, good night. Isn't this just a lot nicer to continue like this, just gliding on the Genoa, instead of that we had continued yesterday? We had a great night there in the little like nature harbor. Super friendly people we met there, and now we're on our way to Egersund. And as it looks like this might actually be our last stop in Norway before heading to Sweden. But the forecast changes every 12 hours or so, so we don't really know. And I guess you have to tune in to the next episode to find out, because I'm going to end this one here and wish you all a very good week and fair winds on your sailing adventures, or just enjoying couch sailing with us. And we'll see you in the next one. Fair winds, bye!